Hello, Force. This is Captain Frugal reporting for duty for, another my thoughts kind of piece again on a subject. And wow, I've been doing a lot more of these than I expected recently. And this one just popped up on Twitter the other day. It says Avengers game Twitter assembles, then deletes extremely bad tweet about defaced statue. This is by Nathan Grayson. And you can find this at this website here. And I scratch my head on this because here's the picture. Okay, I'm going to show this here. It's a defaced statue of Captain America. Now it says here, today the official Avengers video game Twitter account posted a short video featuring a monument of Captain America and said that the area around it had been defaced. It's the kind of atrocity, poor timing, that itself deserves some kind of historical monument. And this kind of stuff bugs me. The fact that people are so afraid to do something that might have something similar to what's going on, that they're so afraid they have to shut everything down. I mean, Marvel, or not Marvel really, but the Square Enix really bent the knee on this one. It says right now, all across the nation, cities and states are making plans to pull down Confederate monuments. And it's true. By the way, the gripe I have maybe with this article is this part right here. Okay, deletes extremely bad tweet about defaced statue. Okay. Okay, it is what it is. So anyway, some have been heavily graffitied, the statues, by protesters, while others have tripped and fallen, how embarrassing, into nearby lakes. Protesters are targeting monuments as part of the widespread effort to cast unflattering light on America's long history of violent racial injustice, and cities are responding. Once again, this is a little bit loaded here. You gotta love that. On long history of violent racial injustice. Really, that has not been proved. There's a lot of statistics actually show the opposite of that. Not saying that there isn't any racial injustice ever. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that I think it's been overblown a bit. Especially when you look at politicians are using this as platforms. This is a whole thing about normative influence. If you really think about it, they're using social media to socially influence and get their way. This is largely political. And I think we're going to see more ramifications of this when it comes closer to election time. Well, anyway, getting back on track. It makes sense to take down statues of Confederate generals and colonial figures like Christopher Columbus because they all played an outside role in the subjugation of black and indigenous people. What I suggest is that before anybody jumps on me or anybody else in this subject, actually look up history and how this came to be, how slavery came to be. You're going to find out that the United States didn't start slavery. We were actually the ones that ended it. And, do we really want to purge our history? Because people that ignore history or don't know history are doomed to repeat it, they say. And there is some truth to that. The mistakes can be made. So why should we eliminate our history? Sometimes these lessons showing us where we came from are a good thing. We say, look, this is what happened, and this is how we've grown since then. On top of that, many of these monuments were constructed in the early 1900s and 1950s as a means of, are you ready for this, legitimizing white supremacy in the face of growing civil rights movements. Once again, this article shows no proof of any of that and probably can't find any. It's, once again, so many people like to speculate intent when they have no true knowledge of it at all. The grand history Confederate monuments pay tribute to lasted all 5 years. It's about slavery. Oh boy. That is why Marvel and Square Enix's decision to market the upcoming Avengers video game with a solemn message dedicated to a fictional defaced statue comes across as, at very least, painfully tone deaf. Just for record, the game seems to be like there was an incident that the Avengers maybe failed at or some sort. I believe Captain America supposedly dies in this game, or we think he's going to die. Who knows if he comes back in the end. And a new team of Avengers gets resurrected. Now, this is completely speculation because we don't have a whole lot of information given on that. That's just what bits and pieces that we've gleaned so far. And it doesn't scream a good game right off the bat. Hopefully it will be, but if it has this Marvel SJW push, I tend to feel that it's gonna be more message over substance and not good. I hope I'm wrong. The tweet posted earlier today and deleted this afternoon featured a brief clip of high-tech drones designed by an in-game agency, but with blue and red lights evocative of real-world police. So you get the little hint there, right? The police state thing, hovering around a statue of Captain America. Heroes Park once celebrated the Avengers, but has since been defaced, said the tweet. Despite the AIM drones that surveil the area, there are still people who believe and pay their respects to Captain America. Well, yeah, they should. It then implored users to download the short looping clip as a video conference background. It will keep this within Avengers narrative confines. It's not totally out of left field, though the video conference backing the thing would be weird in any context, it says. The game's story begins with the large-scale tragedy that the Avengers are ultimately blamed for, as I was saying earlier. So, once again, more on that. So it makes sense that a lot of folks have decided to hop off the Avengers bandwagon in light of In the Fire. But the Avengers, like every other video game, exist in a world which crap is currently very much going down, so particularly marketing angle isn't a great look. Which, once again, it seems like we got to deface the classic Avengers, the classic heroes. Marvel loves to pump up the new ones, which if you look publicly, people just haven't gravitated towards. Probably one of the more successful ones is Kamala Khan, and even with all their bragging about her sales, they weren't really that good. If you actually look at the numbers, it was really misleading. They would love to keep saying, oh, multiple print runs, but if you look at the numbers of the print runs, they weren't very good. They were very small. But that's okay. They don't expect you to look into that. Many people, okay. So anyway, they had this tweet there, and people, evidently were shocked. So many people reacted to the tweet when it was live. Most of them said either, or yikes. So let's look at there, see here, woof, yikes, rip, really? Was it really that? I mean, just ridiculous. And of course, now that tweet's unavailable. After deleting the tweet, the Avengers Twitter account posted an apology. Yes, they did. So let's look at that. Here we are. We've heard your response to our recent post and agreed that now was not the appropriate time to share this content from our game. We apologize for being insensitive. Newsflash, people, this is a video game. Come on. This is just like that far overreach, like pulling everything off of television and revising all of history again. These things happened. And people are actually getting a mixed response to this. So, stop bending over, which is true. Once again, apologizing for doing nothing wrong. If you look, a lot of the responses there are not good. I think most people got offended was because the way the tweet was worded and not the image, says this person here. I mean, it's just, once again, an overreaction to sit there and say, I'm sorry. These companies want to say, I'm sorry. And why is that? Because secretly, it's a marketing tactic, I believe, in this case. Once again, they're looking for that normative social influence. They're wanting you to say, hey, we're the good guys here. We pander, we're here for you. Rather than just being honest and being the truth. It's in saying, you know what? It's a video game. Please take it as that. It's a different world. It's like an Elseworld tale in a comic book. Don't get mad over something that's not canon if it's not canon. But people want to be butthurt. And they want to play to it because it gets attention. Do you think nobody thought about that statue before that tweet was posted? Bullcrap. That was a way to get attention to it. And by bending the knee, they got attention. They knew this was going to get headlines, possibly, and spread around, giving more attention to the Avengers game. This was fake. This was a social construct narrative to get people to pay attention, and people bought it. So after deleting the tweet, the Twitter account posted that apology, which we already looked over. And any other video game social media managers out there were planning similar pithy ads that vaguely gesture in the direction of real-world issues. Hopefully their ideas are now crumbling to the dust in the arms of an emotionally distant father figure or falling into a lake. I have a newsflash. Probably not. They're probably saying, hey, this got attention, and then they pulled it down, and we're the good guys. I have a newsflash. That's called marketing. Sometimes even bad press is good press. Yep, we shouldn't have posted a picture about a statue. Ooh, terrible. But we're taking it down because we want to be sensitive. They didn't really overstep by going anything too crazy out there. But what they did do is they got themselves attention. So there we go. Avengers game, Twitter assembles, then deletes extremely bad tweet about defaced statue. I call bullcrap on this one. I think they bent the knee, sure, but they intended to bend the knee the whole time they put this out. But that's my thoughts, not yours. What are your thoughts? Do you think Marvel intended and Square Enix intended to do this to hype up the video game? I think so. Marvel has been very good about trying to piss people off for marketing. They thought pissing people off was the way to get sales. They really did. And then it did work for a little bit because it made people go, oh, that was edgy. I got to check it out. But then people started catching on. They're doing this crap on purpose, and sales continued to decline because of that. And people started realizing they're just trying to piss us off, or they're trying to shove a message on us. And I think that's what we're getting here. But once again, my thoughts, not yours. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. I'm greatly interested to hear what you have to say about this. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep it frugal. Thanks for sticking with me through this. If you don't mind and you enjoy videos like this, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe, and even bigger, hit that notifications bell, because evidently that means a lot. Also, if you find yourself in the position that you can help the channel and you want to, you say, hey, I like this stuff. If you don't mind, go down to the info bar down below. We have a link for our Patreon, which you can join our Patreon for as little as $1 a month, which gets you special posts that are only for the patrons. So sometimes I do Frugal Force videos that are patron only, or special versions of videos. I also do random Frugal Force giveaways where I just take a random person out there with a random number generator. It selects who it does, and I send them stuff, whether it be games or comic books or both, whoever knows. And sometimes I even just ask you guys questions or shoot up a message, and I greatly appreciate you checking those out. Also, if you find that maybe that's not for you, you don't like Patreon, we have it in the info bar as well, a Streamlabs link there where you can click on that and just give a one-time donation, and that helps the channel. All those proceeds are going right back into the channel to help Little Frugal and I and his sister, the American Dream, my wonderful little girl, and our family continue to have fun doing this and sharing this with you. All right, thank you very much. Thank you, subscribers. Thank you for all the ones that have stuck it out with me this long, and all the new ones that have joined on too. Thank you. We greatly appreciate it. And don't be afraid to leave a message in the comments section too. We love to read them. All right, thanks, and until next time, keep it frugal.